Hello. So I thought we'd do a little strategy discussion about when to, if you're already selling on Amazon and you're seeing some traction, when is a strategically good time to start looking at a Shopify store, your first e-commerce store for the same products that you sell on Amazon, branching out, diversifying revenue, and getting off of Amazon a little bit. My name is Patrick. We spend about $12 million a year on Amazon ads at my company Asteroid X, and I'm sharing lessons from this experience for you for free and for fun. So let's jump in. I think that doing one thing at a time and doing that one thing really well has a lot of value. So if you're selling on Amazon right now and you feel like there's untapped potential on Amazon.com, or if you haven't maxed out Amazon.com, CA, and UK, for example, I would pretty much stick to Amazon until that stuff is done. Until you have a robust product lineup, call it, 3, 5, 10, 20 SKUs that are all selling well. The sales aren't concentrated in just one SKU, for example. There's no recurring suspension issues, account health issues, stuff like that. Revenue is the same or growing, at least year on year, if not month on month. And you have no drastic, say, seasonal issues where you have a lot of sales concentrated in December, for example, or with sports and outdoor summer products, camping products in the summer, another example. And so if you kind of have a nice dialed in business on Amazon and you've done some international expansion and that's going well, I think it's now time to start looking at a Shopify store. And to give you a sense, this is anywhere from 10 to 50K a month in Amazon top line revenue, something like that. Until you break the 10K mark, I really don't think there's much use looking at other channels because it'll just be a distraction to you, and then the original channel may never grow to its full potential. So that's just my take on it. From what I've seen, we work with hundreds of brands every month, and I've just seen the ones that get too distracted with many different channels don't tend to maximize any of the channels that they're on. Right? There's an old saying that's like chase two rabbits, catch none, or something like that. Right? So on the other hand, I think there is such a thing as waiting too long to get off of Amazon, because as you've probably seen, right, Amazon is, to their credit, doing as best they can to police an open platform where anyone can sign up with millions of SKUs. So they're going to put some automated rules in place, and this will result in things like the pesticide suspension that came up on Amazon FBA a couple years back, where they were just banning products for saying they were pesticides, or automated listing suspensions where you can launch a case log and get it back, stuff like that, right? They have to deploy algorithms to deal with these problems at scale because there's simply not enough human talent to solve each of these individual cases. So fair enough, right? But this also means that your presence as an Amazon seller is on rented land, it's fragile, and there's, in terms of the business model, you don't own the relationships with Amazon customers. I'll say that again because sometimes, it's easy to get it confused. But the sellers, the third-party sellers on Amazon's platform that comprise over 50% of all units sold on Amazon every year, don't own the relationships with Amazon's customers. Those are Amazon's customers, right? The email addresses are encrypted. You get the addresses, but it's not like you can or would send them, promotional material by mail, right? You can't take those buyers off of platform and all this stuff, right? So those are Amazon customers. That's what you trade for having access to traffic built into the Amazon platform, right? So, everything has an upside and a downside. You sold on Amazon to get access to millions of shoppers instantly, right? The downside is that you don't get to take those shoppers off platform. Shopify has the opposite problem, where if you're going to sell on your own first-party e-com store, you have zero traffic to www.yourbrandname.com. There's nobody there, right? There's no hungry shoppers built in to do it, right? At the time of recording, August 2022, Shopify has not found a strong solution for supplying traffic built in to their sellers. It just doesn't exist, right? At the moment. But the upside is that any customer you get, you'll have an address, an email, a phone number, whatever you ask for. You could ask for their birthday for as a customized checkout sequence. You could really own those relationships. And with that, you can email a list of customers that have bought in the past and have them buy again. So whereas it may be more expensive initially in a Shopify store to acquire shoppers through Facebook ads or social media and then get them to convert at a 1%, 2% conversion rate on your Shopify store and have them go through the friction of entering their credit card. Once you have that information, you own that customer relationship, which is fantastic, right? And you can extend out the customer lifetime value by re-engaging those customers over and over again. Even though the cost of acquisition might be more expensive upfront than on Amazon, you own the relationship and can stretch it out. Is it a more demanding skill set to sell on a Shopify store and go, soup to nuts with cold traffic to recurring customer? Yes, it is. Amazon FBA is still, very much more a business in a box that is more on rails, right? There's bumper rails, if you imagine like those rails on a bowling alley or something. Like there's guardrails in place so that your business has to hit certain metrics. Your products always get delivered in 2 days with Amazon FBA, and you get the traffic built in. On Shopify, there's fewer guardrails, but larger rewards if you can operate that business correctly, right? So generally speaking, my advice is to cut your teeth on Amazon. Get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K, as high as you can, honestly. We see brands that are making $1 million a month in revenue, right? How different would your life be at $1 million a month in revenue? Probably pretty different. So there's no limit to what you can do on Amazon, but at some point, certainly, there's no use cases where I advise against setting up a first-party Shopify store. That simply makes sense for the longevity of your business, for owning those customer relationships, and for just growing as a business owner, growing that skill set as well, to build a brand first party. It's valuable, right? So that's my thinking on it. Let me know in the comments if you have anything to add to it. I'd love to start a conversation around this, because I think that people are either on one side or another, when often in life the answer is not or, but and. So, and if you need help on Amazon, if you're looking to grow and scale that thing up nicely to 10K or the next 10K, my team is here for you, and we can talk to you. So I'll drop a link to that below as well. So thank you so much. This has been fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy selling.